Hello, my name is Jill Adelson. I'm an assistant professor here at University of Louisville in the Educational Psychology Measurement and Evaluation program. I have a dual role here with background in measurement, evaluation, and assessment, so in quantitative research and methodology, as well as substantive background in gifted education and mathematics education. In terms of my quantitative methodology and research interest, I focus on hierarchical linear modeling, HLM, structural equation modeling, SEM, as well as propensity score analysis, instrument design, and other advanced methodologies. I've done some research on research methodology that has been Monte Carlo simulation style, where I generate data and look at different parameters and different models, as well as experimental design, going out and administering surveys and collecting data to examine what works best with different populations and with different parameters. I also do a lot with secondary data analysis. I use the National Center for Education Statistics data sets like the ECLSK and other data sets, the TIMSS data sets, and look at issues in particularly gifted education and math education, so my substantive areas, and work with students and other faculty on how best to use those secondary data analyses. To support that work, I've been selected for grants from AERA, American Psychological Foundation, and other places. In addition, I have that substantive area of research and background, and my focus is on gifted education and mathematics education. I'm interested in the effects of gifted programming as well as ability grouping, and then mathematics talent development in particular, especially in elementary children. In the mathematics education arena, in addition to talent development, I'm also interested in mathematical attitudes of elementary students, about how those differ across different classrooms, how teachers perceive children's mathematics attitudes, about how attitudes influence or are affected by grades, by state testing, by reform-based curriculum. So looking at a broader range than just what are the children's mathematical attitudes. In order to study this, I've developed an instrument that we've gone through several studies to validate the inferences that we can make from those. I've done a lot of research also collaborating with other faculty and students here at U of L as well as at other universities and other institutions. And that's kind of one of the benefits of being a quantitative methodologist, is that I can take those advanced methodologies and apply them to a broad range of research questions and look at lots of different type of data. Currently I'm doing some projects with others on ability grouping, on stereotype threat and resiliency theory, looking at the effects of depression and a depression intervention, looking at the effects of psychotherapy on therapy outcomes, also doing things looking at classroom climate for young children, especially in the primary grades, looking at both mathematics education as well as reading education to see how those effects are. So it's kind of been a nice melding of my research interest in that I get to do the research on advanced methods and further our field in terms of how are we analyzing our data, but then making substantive contributions and looking at gifted education, mathematics education, and collaborating with others.